Hero is not who doesn't have fears, is who overcome his fears. That phrase applies very good to new sailors. Sailing is a beautiful way to fulfill the dream of visiting several countries, staying in your own house, visiting beautiful beaches, swimming with different animals like dolphins, rays, turtles, and even sharks. But living in something that is floating and moving it to new places involves some risk, excitement, and sometimes stress. The hurricane season is finishing. December to April is the best time to sail around Bahamas. So November is a busy month. For some, it's the month to leave colder places and come to the Keys to stay here for some months. For others, it's the month to finish plans and preparations to jump to Bahamas, or even further. For some of them, this is the first time they are going to another country, sailing through water almost 3,000 feet deep, so far from shore that they won't see land and won't have cell phone signal. Crossing part of that at night, sharing the way with huge ships. Definitely a graduation to a new level in sailing. Some of the people who try it suffer of any kind of anxiety, give up and return to shore. Our job as captain is not just move the boat from one point to another, is to make the trip as safe and as comfortable as possible. To do that, preparation is key. Crossing the Gulf Stream by sailboat takes around 22 hours from Marathon or 14 hours from Key Largo. Arriving to a new place must be done with sunlight. That means the boat should start before sunrise or sail overnight. The lights of a boat are very soft. The radar detects not only boats but storms. Does not detect the direction or the speed, but after some analysis that can be calculated. Having moonlight is very good help, but not always possible. Losing sight of the coast causes in some people some anxiety, but is something that happens gradually. On the other hand, losing cell phone signal is something that happens in a second, sometimes causing so much stress in somebody in the crew that the ship has to return. It's important having a satellite system in case of an emergency. The most common is the EPIRB, that in case of an emergency sends the location to a satellite system, but the InReach has gained some popularity. This one sends the location every 2 minutes so other people can track the boat at home. To make the passage even more challenging, between Florida and Bahamas, the Gulf Stream is running north at an average speed of 4 miles per hour. A sailboat usually runs at 5 to 7 miles per hour. That means the path of the boat is really affected by the current. But most important than the direction or the path is that if the wind is blowing against the current, the waves will be high and the distance between them short. That's really bad for navigation. Sailors check the weather several times a day, but especially before a passage. Not only checking if it's going to rain or not, checking the speed and the direction of the wind, the currents, and very important, the distance between the peaks of the waves. To get that information, sailors use web page that shows graphically all the data based on government prediction models. Pages like Windfinder or windy.com. Another fear is what is going to happen when we arrive to a new country? Where is immigration? Well, we are used to do that in planes where you are in a group of people and backed by an airline company. Indeed, the airline has an insurance and the responsibility to bring you back to your country if you are not accepted in the new country. Return immediately in a sailboat should be terrible. However, people in Bahamas is extremely nice and the information in the government webpage is really good. The process is simple and the documents required are very basic. Registration documents of the boat and passport. It's recommended to apply before leaving US using Click to Clear webpage. The only problem that I have found is that the government offices' address are not clear. Since then, everything is super beautiful. Still, you have to take care of the boat and the weather, but that's worth it. Using your boat, everything is much beautiful.